So we've got it in the sport mode. So much torque. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, I'm going to be going over what I think is quite possibly the coolest 760i on the market. Before we get in this video though, a huge shout out and thank you to the BMW of Pleasant Grove, Utah for giving me some time with this new 7 Series. I'm going to include a link to their inventory in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. If you have any questions or need any help, just ask for Brendan. And if you don't already know, the BMW of Pleasant Grove does not charge any sort of markups over MSRP whatsoever on any new BMWs. So if you want a great deal on the BMW, reach out to them. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have a turbocharged 4.4 liter V8 that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 18 around town and then 26 on the highway, with power outputs being 536 horsepower and then 553 pound-feet of torque. Now, before we go over the front end of this 760, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the hood, you guys can see super distinctive lines, and if you're wondering, this is called Frozen Pure Gray Metallic for the color. It's so sweet. We've got the split headlight design here, which is just what BMW is doing with their 7 Series vehicles. The X7 has the same exact thing. We do have parking sensors here on the front end, as you can see. Notice the grille, pretty large. We've got the BMW logo there at the top. And putting it all together, it has this kind of like Rolls-Royce-esque appearance to the shape. Like take out the lights and just look at the shape. Very similar. So coming around the side here, our tire and wheel setup is 255/40/21 in the front, and then 285/35/21 in the back. And then you guys can see here with the wheels, you got the silver trim there. And notice the wheels mostly closed off, which is definitely interesting from a design perspective. Now, something else to note, there are sensors all over the car. Like, look at the bottom here. Just tons of little sensors everywhere. Now you've got the door handles that are flush with the bodywork, body painted mirror, and then darker trim around the windows. And then taking a look at the side view of this 7 Series, again, with this particular paint color, it looks so cool. So here's our key fob for the 7 Series. You guys can see we've got the BMW logo here on the front for the lock function. You can press it 3 times to remote start it. We have our unlock function and the opening here for the trunk. Popping inside, there is quite a bit of storage space here in the back with the 7 Series. I mean, look, it is quite cavernous indeed. And so if you need to carry stuff around, this can do it. And then when you're all done, just press that button right there and that will lower the trunk lid right back down. Really cool taillight design here with the 7 Series, especially on the side. Look at that, that is fun. And then you guys can see 760i badge, you got the BMW logo, xDrive, you know, all the normal stuff. And then we do have parking sensors there at the bottom. And then look at the exhaust tip covers, those look pretty aggressive. Now the rear end of this looks less Rolls-Royce and more BMW in terms of the aesthetic. And of course we got the fancy pop-out doors. Luxury. Now taking a look at the door panel here in the rear, really nice leather trim all over. Fit and finish is fantastic, and like every single surface is covered. It is uber luxury. You've got that to unlatch the door. You can see like the little window control here, door lock and unlock. We got a screen as well, and then we have another door opener button as well. And then taking a look at the seats, you guys can see really nice leather here. I love how you've got little M color right there. But yeah, perforated all down the center and just such a cool design. Now with the back doors, of course, we just have to press that button and then it'll come to us. And then this lets us play with this little screen here. So this is kind of like an infotainment system for the rear passengers. Now we've got one on each door panel, which is just crazy. But yeah, you can see you can control the climate. I can do the blinds as well if I want. So like I can tap my window here and then it'll pull the blind up, and then if I don't want it, I can just press that to close it. And so like all the different things you can do in here, it's pretty crazy. And then also like, look at the seats. They're massaging here in the back. You can also have memory seat function here for the back. Even the seat climate, so you've got heated and cooled function here, which I don't know. I just like, some of you might not find this too interesting, but I think this is pretty crazy and definitely fancy stuff to have in a car. Now something to note is the front seats look really cool from the back, and also look at on the side, that is so cool. Got a pretty normal storage pocket right here, and then you guys can see some vents in the center and then some more storage underneath. Also, legroom back here is just fantastic. It's enormous. And then we have like our center console with like the cup holders little armrest, all of that fun stuff. And yeah, seriously, look at these seats. Like, look at the headrest too. Just tons of luxury happening back here. And for those of you wondering, headroom is also great. I do also want to mention the view through the sunroof is so cool from the back seat. Why open the door yourself when you can just press a button to do it for you? Now at the front door, you have that same fancy opening, or you can just click a button right here and open it yourself if you want. And taking a look at the front door panel, again, really nice leather trim all over. Look at the speaker there for the sound system. Just very fancy looking. Got your memory seat functionality right there. Look at the power adjustments. Lots of crystal trim happening here. All of the window controls here, stuff for the sunshade. And then I love how it's like a little child inside of a lock for the child lock. That's crazy. Anyways, you've got your mirror adjustments. They do power fold in, and then your door opening right there for the regular open. And then look at the front headrest. They're pretty awesome looking. And then notice with all the perforations down the center on the seat. And then you'll notice really nice looking pedals here. And then this is for like the automatic door close. So if I press this, that'll pop in, and then you guys can see like the light controls. Now taking a look at the steering wheel, really nice leather trim all around. We've got these giant paddles there. It accidentally hit the windshield wiper. But anyways, giant paddles here on the back of the steering wheel. And then you got stuff like your cruise control, your voice command, phone controls, you know, all the normal stuff. I like how the airbag cover is nicely wrapped. And then you got the M logo there at the bottom as well. And so I think just as a steering wheel, this thing looks really cool. And then of course, got your regular stocks there on the back as well. Now we've got this crazy digital gauge cluster here. You guys can see we're in the augmented reality layout, which if I pull up the settings tab, then I can actually change the whole layout here. So look at that. You can like literally the whole thing, or sorry, the content rather is augmented reality. But notice you can also change the content. Like the customization with this gauge cluster is just insane. And then putting it in reverse, you guys can see you've got a backup camera with your directional lines that turn with the steering wheel. You got the bird's eye view as well, kind of expected here with this camera system. We can also do like a 3D view here with the 7 Series, which is pretty cool. So overall, solid. Oh, I guess I have to press this menu to go through. You think I'd know at this point with how many cars I've reviewed, but apparently not. Now, as for the rest of the infotainment system, first off, it's connected to, well, the gauge cluster because it's BMW's new hyper screen. Response time with the screen is fantastic. I'd say that it's pretty easy to use. Overall, you've got all these different menus for different functions within the car. Might be overwhelming to some people, but I feel like it's all pretty self-explanatory. Like if you want to do the climate menu, it's always there at the bottom, and then you can go and do a bunch of stuff. And just like the back, you do have heated, cooled, massaging seats. Really nice trim here on the dash all around, as you can see, and then look down below. And then yeah, we got more of this like crystal action. If you're wondering, the passenger has all the same functionality as the driver with closing the door, the memory seat function, all of that. And then look at this for the glove box. It's just the stuff you get in some of these modern luxury cars is pretty crazy. And then this is actually to open or close the vent. That's why you have like the little dial you can kind of scroll through to have it more open or more closed. We do have a wireless phone charging pad here, and then you guys can see a couple of cup holders and then more of that trim here on the side as well. Quite a bit happening here. So you get your stop start button. This is your gear selector, your parking brake, your auto hold, and then this is for the infotainment system. If you don't want to use the touchscreen functionality, you can control everything with these shortcut buttons and this dial, and then you get your volume control. Lots of crystal action happening here. And then you do have this to raise the car. So if you're in an area where you need a little bit, you know, more suspension height, right? You can do that so you can clear, you know, driveways and all that. With the center console, notice it's perforated. You got like X's through it, which is pretty cool. And storage space, yeah, pretty solid. Yeah, it's so crazy like how padded everything is in the interior. And then we got our control here for the sunroof, and then it's probably hard to see in camera, but you have like a nice premium headliner. And so like everything that you look at and touch, really nice with the materials. But of course there is a price to pay for super nice materials and fun luxury features. That is for sure. So base MSRP on this is $113,600. This has quite a few options. By the way, that paint job, $5,000. After all options, this one stickers for $140,005. Let's see how it drives. There we go. Well, let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's your visibility of the hood, and hopefully you can now see the heads-up display. Both the mirrors are still blind spot monitoring. And throw the rear. And we're just gonna set right off. And also, I'm super low into this car. The seat is set very, very low. Like, I think that might be part of the effect that they're going for with this 7 Series, is to have you kind of like lower in the car, so then you feel like you're just in this big, like, substantial thing, because like the hood just goes out for miles in front of you. Love the augmented reality. That's pretty cool, actually. Something we're starting to see more and more in luxury cars. So smooth. That's the thing about, you know, modern luxury cars, is with all of the stuff that they can add to the suspension nowadays, it just drives so well. And especially compared to, like, you look at a car with just standard, like the average car on the road is going to have independent front and rear suspension nowadays, and is going to be unibody, which this is independent front and rear suspension unibody, but they're just gonna have like standard springs and everything. But you know, with these luxury cars, they'll add the air springs, and you know, they'll usually do some upgraded shocks and everything, and just, yeah, it helps out so much. Like when you go over like anything in the road, you can tell it's there, but it erases almost everything. It's actually really impressive. Yeah, it's so comfortable. The seat comfort's amazing too. And that's something that is super underrated, that I feel like a lot of people don't emphasize enough. You can have great suspension in a car, but if you have really rough seats, it you know, kind of makes the car feel like it's driving rougher than it actually is. Whereas like if you have really comfortable seats and you have rough suspension, it can make the car feel a little bit more comfortable than it actually, like more luxury than it is from a ride quality standpoint. This obviously has both. The suspension's great and the seats are great. But yeah, I mean, it's super quiet too. Like, you don't get a lot coming in. I'm so impressed, honestly. Yeah, the ride quality is amazing. Just buttery smooth, going over everything. It's such a serene experience, the 7 Series. Now, obviously I already drove one before, but something I want to talk about now is my modes. So notice we have a personal, we have a sport, efficient, expressive, and relaxed. So like if I pop it into relax mode, it'll close the sunroof, it'll close the sunshades, turns on massaging seat. So this has more than just like your normal drive modes, where you're just like drive mode to go fast, drive mode to be economical. It's like you got drive modes for everything in this, which I think, I don't know, I think that's great. And man, I like this relax mode. I am not going to complain about this. So we've got it in the sport mode. So much torque. Sounds really cool too. Like it's got like some burbles and everything out of the exhaust. Oh, definitely stiffer with suspension in sport mode, that's for sure. Definitely stiffer, so it actually kind of changes the character of the car a bit. Oh my gosh, this thing is so ridiculously powerful. I haven't driven the electric version of this quite yet. Let's see what expressive does. I haven't driven the electric version quite yet, but I have a feeling that this is going to be the one to go for, because, you know, I understand that electric cars are great for some people, but like part of luxury, I feel like, is basically having everything like at your disposal easily. And electric cars with the charging infrastructure we have, not quite there. I guess if you charge this at home, then like you don't have to deal with gas stations anymore, so that could be technically more luxury. But like if you're on a road trip and you have to sit at a charging stall, like, yeah, you could sit there and get a massage in this car, but like sitting there for 45 minutes, an hour to get charged up, I don't know. I'd rather just go to the gas station, stop for like 5 minutes, and then be off on my way. And I feel like part of this is gonna sound so funny, but I feel like part of, you know, the excitement of owning a luxury car is stopping at the gas station and having someone tell you, oh, you want a straight trade, right? They have like a 1999 Honda Civic, they're like, hey, straight trade, right? Or they're like, hey, nice car. I think that's part of what people want when they buy luxury cars, for people to compliment them. And I guess you could get more compliments if you're having to charge your 7 Series for 45 minutes. So maybe that point doesn't work. But anyways, great luxury vehicle. You know, the aesthetics, I think that, you know, it's okay, but BMW's come out and stated that they have it this way because they're basically going to sell most of these in the Chinese market. And I guess that with that market, they like cars that look like this. But here in the US market, it does look a little bit funky, that's for sure. But let me know what you guys think about the new 7 Series. I think it's a luxury car, absolutely fantastic. I don't think you can beat it right now. I think you can beat it in looks, right? But in terms of how this drives and the technology it has, it's king right now. That's because something's up with our video on this new 7 Series. Again, a huge shout out and thank you to the BMW of Pleasant Grove for giving me some time with this car. Check out their inventory in the description down below. I'll see ya.